Informanté Radio. The sound for a new age.
First and foremost, I want to thank everybody out there.
Please don't give a political speech. This is not the platform.
Yes.
This is the morning mix on Informanté Radio.
My favorite show.
We're talking about one person, Maria. One person that you know. But you don't know every therapist.
Yeah, no, I'm saying not everybody's professional, but I mean...
Exactly.
But
so you stop defending her. We're not talking about her now.
I'm not talking about her also.
I'm talking about my
her.
cousin therapist who tells people stories.
Lend an ear and join us every morning.
All the time.
I listen all day, every day.
I don't know. I'm just addicted to it.
But Maria, I'm also family of yours. Dis is nie familie nie.
Sy het gister vir ons gesê ons is
Dis 'n kwanyama.
broers.
Hallo.
Hoe sê sy vir ons
I
is nie
thank
familie
you.
nie. Very good.
Ja.
No,
We will-
I've said your family zone.
Nee.
You just said we are not family. You are a
No,
kwanyama.
it's my brother.
The Morning Mix.
Starting your day with a bang. You are listening to Namibia's best radio station, Informanté Radio. As you journey through life towards your retirement goal, build your wealth with Elite Save. Earn 8.5% compound interest on your investment term while choosing when and how you receive your interest returns. It's tailor-made to help you succeed. For more info, SMS Elite Save to 31844 and we will call you back. Underwritten by Trustco Life.
The views and opinions expressed on the radio program by the guests, advertisers, news bulletins, call-in listeners or chatters are solely the views and opinions of the source who express them. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions and the views of Trustco Group International, the broadcast regulators in Namibia, or that of the Informanté radio station.
This is Informanté Radio, the sound for a new age.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays.
The Morning Mix.
Sweet gang. GBE. Chessa. House Prince. House Prince.
Oh yes, always loving the local music on Informanté Radio, man.
Hey!
No way to start a Monday.
Jy voel hom, né?
Yo. Almal is binneboot.
Is binneboot op 'n maandagoggend, my broer.
Yo.
Yes, Chester House Prince, this guy's album is just out of this world, man. If you haven't picked yourself up a copy, make sure you grab one. It's warm, vir warm.
I say again, when it comes to Namibian artists, you can take 10 of them. There's such a diversity in what they do that we stand out when it comes to South African artists. I exert my cop of a block. I'm telling you now. I'll give my left. Yeah.
South Africans,
I'll give it.
they have the advantage of a much larger market,
Of numbers.
but the talent is definitely here.
The talent is here.
It's definitely here.
The talent
We
is
just
here.
need to start supporting local.
Yes, definitely.
I'm listening to this beat now. Pineapple.
Hy vat jou terug remix toe.
Pineapple.
Star Hotel.
That hotel.
Hey.
Oh man.
Then there's a spot. I was there a few weeks ago.
Is it?
I got pineapple.
So how was the weekend, guys?
Nee, baie nag.
Lekker rustig, né?
Yeah.
You guys are well rested. Ready to take on another 5 days.
I don't know about well rested. You know, I think we're getting to the end of the year. So we all just going through the motions just to get to the end of the year. And
Still
Yeah.
trying to make sure you have money left for December.
wat as daar nie geld is nie, dan is daar nie binnebout.
December might as well be January, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly take a look at the COVID numbers like we are supposed to before we move on. All right, our total caseload is 12,988, almost 13,000 cases. Unfortunately, 133 people have died from the coronavirus since the outbreak, with 11,038 recoveries. All right, current active cases stand at 1,817. That number ticking up ever so slightly. We spent the last 2 weeks around 1,700, mostly coming down, but I see there's an uptick once again.
Ja, dat was einde van die maand ook nog weer.
Yeah.
I spoke to my mother on Friday night. And my mother was like, kan jy my nie net kom optel nie? Laat ek by jou huis gaan slap. Hierdie katatoera is deur mekaar, my kind. The house next door, the music is blasting. Die huis voor, hierdie groot winkels, die mense gaan aan hier so. There's just everybody is out and about.
That's chaos.
So yeah.
People are, what's the phrase, pandemic out. You know, people have gotten so tired of trying to be careful that I guess everybody is now at the point, it's like, man, Tashia Nashia me bro, if come on.
One time is one time is klaar.
Laat het kom as
Laat
het so
het kom,
kom.
laat het kom, laat ons klaarmaak.
But still, don't forget to just take the small precautions.
Yes.
Like wearing your mask and sanitizing
Yes.
often. And of course, keeping a safe distance from other people when you're in crowded places.
True.
All right, let's turn our attentions to sports real quick. Some interesting results coming from the weekend. But first, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Lewis Hamilton won yesterday.
Oh, yes.
You see, I didn't even watch.
Yes. Lewis Hamilton.
It's making waves.
They clinched Mercedes clinched the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah.
7th. Okay. I believe they equaled the Drivers' Championship.
Constructors or drivers?
Oh, no. The constructors.
Yes.
What?
Constructor.
Constructors. Yes.
Championship, yes, yeah.
That's what they did. So with his next win, he can then equal Michael Schumacher's record.
Yeah.
And wow.
At this point, it's more surprising if he loses because
Yeah.
No, he's on a roll.
He's plowing
He's on a roll.
through
I
Formula
mean,
One.
I kind of feel bad for other races because it's like you just know
Nah.
you are going into for second place
Yeah,
or third
everybody
place.
is competing for second and third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because remember, even Bottas is doing well. He's always there or thereabouts with Hamilton, his other
Toch hier
teammate.
boer nie.
Bottas.
Nee, Bottas.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas.
Yes.
Except Bottas, when
Yeah.
the first time I saw that, I was like, hey, South Africa.
Bottas.
All right. Some football results. Manchester City not looking like themselves on Saturday night, managing to scrape a 1-0 win away at Sheffield United. Honestly, they have lost that fear factor. I don't think any team is so afraid of them at the moment.
While you are busy with sport, my face is just like this down.
Smile. I know.
Can we please get to the topic of the day?
Ja, nee. Doe net die sport alsjeblieft.
Yeah,
The sport is klaar. The sport is klaar.
let me run through the results. Okay, Chelsea also starting to pick up steam. They beat Burnley 3-0 away. Pretty convincing performance. Liverpool unconvincing at home at Anfield. A 2-1 win against West Ham United. All right, those were the Premier League results from Saturday. Also, Real Madrid in Spain in action against Huesca. Another convincing win, or at least finally a convincing win for them. 4-1. Athletic Bilbao managed to beat Sevilla 2-1 after coming from 1-0 down. Yeah, Atletico Madrid, the only unbeaten team in Spain so far this season, managed a 3-1 win away at Osasuna.
Luister,
And then Deportivo Alaves and Barcelona drawing 1-1 on Saturday night.
I would just like to know, just for interest purposes, who scores for Atletico? Is Suarez amongst the scorers?
I'm not sure if he scored this weekend.
Okay,
Let me
no, but
quickly
it's fine.
check for you. Joao Felix, Lucas Torreira.
Okay.
Why are you taking a selfie, Ju? Say, check it in, man.
Slaking. What's slaking? My slay.
Slaking. See, we're
Shines
taking
is
the chain
taking
out.
selfies here.
Shine, stand the camera so people can look at you also.
He's taking selfies.
Oh, man.
It's alright.
Come on.
Just take your selfies in peace, my brother.
No interesting results coming out of Germany over the weekend. Inter drawing maybe was the biggest result from Saturday from the Italian Serie A. But last night's results from the Premier League, Aston Villa, Southampton winning the game 4-3 or the match 4-3. Newcastle beating Everton 2-1. Tottenham Hotspurs beating Brighton and Hove Albion by 2-1, and then a second half penalty by Aubameyang, giving Arsenal their first win at Old Trafford in the league for, I think, 14 years or something
Yes.
like that.
14 years.
Yes. It's been-
I still remember the last win. Okay?
Come on,
I
don't
still-
even last the game.
I still see Cesc Fabregas giving the through ball na daai Mugu.
Hami.
Jealous at Kamare. Is it Adebayor?
Oh.
Yes. I still see. Oh nee, is Janie. Maar wie goed is ook uit Kamare goed van mekaar hier so. Is it Tilish en hoe?
I toch continue.
Kagokwena, whatever.
What was the girl's name?
Yeah, it's Miriam Kagokwena. I still see Cesc Fabregas 14 years ago dispossessing somebody in midfield, giving the final pass to Adebayor, and he scores, and we won 1-0 that day.
Again.
Yes. Now, yesterday, I must say, we should have broken this duck a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because for the last 3-4 years, we go to Old Trafford, and Old Trafford gets away with a draw. While we keep on...
At your best, you would get a draw there, yeah.
Yeah, but we keep on dominating them. Even last year, even the year before, we would dominate them there at Old Trafford, but they get a draw.
But
So-
Manchester United is so...
It's pissing me
It's
off.
confusing.
That maakt me-
I mean, they had such
It's
a...
Yeah, because it's... We know when we played last week. Last week?
Leipzig.
Yes.
They had such a brilliant performance against Leipzig.
Yes, but the team was perfect. Why didn't we just stay with the winning flippant formula?
Yeah.
You know, now you're putting Fernando and what's his name? And
Paulus.
Pogba.
Paulus
They don't
They don't gel.
They don't gel.
Yeah.
I don't think
And
Ole
Pogba-
has found a role for Pogba in the team.
No, and Pogba, I don't
Right.
know. Like, how do you give away a pen? Yes, like, man.
Kyk, nee. Since Maria gets into football now, nee.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah. So
The man was. I mean, we called it the first 10 minutes. Like, how the man ate.
Yes, they give you a soccer game. Yeah,
How the
it's
man
too
ate.
stressful.
Ate the game ate because they don't know how to gel. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, he's an expensive player, but he's
Yeah.
costing us a lot.
yeah.
And he's got this ego thing.
Yeah.
Unless
he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah, if he could
World
play
Cup
alone.
winner.
It's a World Cup
If he
winner.
could play alone, he would play alone.
World Cup winner.
Yes, okay, as he by as he perform he
Yeah.
comes through.
Also true.
Maar gister, Pogba cost us a lot of money.
Ach, Maria, I think.
Thomas Partey and Al Neni really owned that midfield.
Woo!
Like young. I was surprised that no other big club around Europe were looking at Thomas Partey when
Exactly.
Atletico made him available. He's a brilliant midfielder.
He's a brilliant midfielder. He's passing and he's tackling.
Yes.
And
his work rate there.
his work rate is very, very, very high. So it's really a welcoming win for us. I'm not saying, Arsenal.
Weet jy wat gescoor het weer van Arsenal?
Aubameyang.
Ja, hy het my ook kwaad gemaak. Opstap is so af van die vlag. Sit dit nie.
But again, we are the perennial flip-floppers.
Yeah.
We won yesterday.
You're going
I'm
to
telling
lose.
you, we're gonna mess it up again somewhere in this week.
And congratulations to Arsenal
I mean,
fans and supporters and team. Ja, hulle het goed gedoen.
We decided to give a goal away on Saturday. Yeah, that's funny.
Cubase, wat gaan aan by Barcelona? Please.
Look, we didn't have a bad game over the weekend. Alaves, of course, did what they were always going to do. They sat back with basically 2 lines of 5, and they were playing on the counter. And Barca just couldn't break them down. And it was unfortunate they
Who scored for you?
Griezmann.
Oh, Griezmann.
Yeah.
Okay.
Griezmann finally got his first goal of the season. But then we gave away such a silly goal, a back pass to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper does not control the ball. Daar word hy afgevat. Nou staan kyk hulle twee mekaar daar. And that's the first time Alaves have scored against us in their own stadium in 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah. Maar so ja, let's move away from sports.
Mag jy gou net gou final sporting news. The All Blacks crashed. Crashed.
No wonder you're so happy this morning.
Oh.
Arsenal win, All Blacks win.
Yo, Hamilton win. The All Blacks, I'm telling you, win. Oh, ja.
Teen wie julle
Ek
gespeel?
het alles gekry hierdie week. Ek het alles gekry. Ja, julle kan besluit wat julle dink. So right.
Binnebout.
Ja. Oh,
Die weather was reeds so lekker geweest.
ek en my vrou ons het die kinders gelos by die huis to chip ons. Ja. So, no, Arsenal, hoor vir my Arsenal. No, the All Blacks, they went to Australia. It was obviously quite the game for the Bledisloe Cup, but a record win against Australia in the Bledisloe Cup. And I'm just sad that the Springboks don't have a chance to play in this competition in the rugby championships.
Why?
No, because they feel that they didn't have enough games to play against the All Blacks because they've been in lockdown much longer.
Okay.
But for me, they are world champions. They should have worked around it to come and defend their crown.
Figure out a way.
So, but it's all right. We should be number 1 again soon.
Bloody Slow. I still cannot get over that name.
Huh?
Bloody Slow. This is the Bloody Slow Cup.
Oh, Bloody
Slow.
Slow.
Let's commenslate on today's topic.
Yeah.
Sameri. Alright, should I read the good mornings at the top?
No. Leave the good mornings.
Let's say,
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Okay, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, April or April. Are you guys Kaizer Chiefs fans? Why are you not talking about the Soto derby?
Sorry. Okay, that's the one blemish of my weekend.
I didn't watch. Okay, that was the one
3-0.
high side of my like the high point from my weekend.
Ek weet nie wat gaan aan daar met die span van ons nie.
But Chiefs.
Ek
worry nie met julle nie.
Oh,
I'm a baga. The sea robbers or what do they say?
Exactly.
Nak Baby Ferris, awe o Neville Basson, jy sê ons is een WhatsApp group. The winners, all right? Nepola, Nepola. I like the spirit Neville is on today. Let's just keep winning Arsenal for him to remain as happy as that. Nah. All right, Gaitan is saying all his problem is sometimes he doesn't know when to go offensive and when to go defensive. Every game is the same game plan. Poch is coming our way before Boxing Day. Watch this space. Before Christmas, I cannot doubt it. But anyway, Skonyaks, I go up. Says Neville en sy sakdoek. Waar's jou maniere tog?
Nou, wat moet ek so maak? Ek kan so op die tafel ook maak.
Jy kan come out, ja, go dumpster diving. To praat Maria ook sokker.
Ja, Maria praat sokker.
Maria is aan die dinge, jong.
As ek gaan betaal.
Apparently it's nice to see Maria stress about football. Gideon is saying, don't stress because of soccer, rich auntie. Just leave golf and go show the boys how it's done with the ball at your feet.
That's it.
Yeah, let me stick to golf.
Yeah, Tertarianus. Oh, yo. As Dai Pogba donor. I think that's supposed to be donor.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy must always start from the bench, man. He plays better from the bench.
Okay.
And if you guys can't use him, sell him. I'm sure, I mean, with the money you can get from Pogba, you can reinforce other places.
He just must never start. He moet eers op die bench sit. He moet eers idle.
Yeah.
He must first be humbled.
Yeah, ne?
You know, so that when he goes, because he's got an ego issue. He's a great player, but he's got an ego issue. So you need to humble him first by keeping him on the bench, and then you send him out.
But I must say, you know what? When Pogba is, like you said earlier, when Pogba is
on his game, yeah,
and the way he pulls the strings in midfield,
when he's on form, he's
passes,
he's worth his money. I'm not here to downplay his skill. I mean, you saw what he was doing with the ball.
Yeah,
during the game, he's a real talented player. I mean, it's just, you know, like as most talented players, they have an ego issue that we need to you need to always to find a way to
stifle it.
Yes, just
But yeah.
Make it too much. Yeah.
Roviera has got some words of consolation for Maria here. Maria, it is hard for us to win against small teams. Man United just needs to learn how to win against small teams like Arsenal. We always beat the big boys.
Yeah. That's true. We were undermining them. That is our problem.
Must I respond, Kibis?
Yes.
They you were shocked that you won yesterday, but you were surprised you won yesterday. You were surprised.
Maria, if there are teams I'm scared of in the Premier League, I'm scared of Liverpool. Every time we play Liverpool, I'm really scared out of my boots. Liverpool, City, and to a certain extent Chelsea.
Manchester.
Chelsea. But I'm never scared of Man United. To be honest with you.
And those are sort of your biggest rivals, right?
It's my biggest rivals. I've seen the quality of United go down season after season after season. So, and that is why I'm saying it's been a surprise for me that we haven't beaten them there. Every time they get away. I remember 2 years ago when I was in England. We were pulling them around like a rag doll at Old Trafford. Toe gaan skop een van die mannetjies nog in 1-1. I can't even remember his name.
So die nog Alexis Sanchez geweest.
I'm not scared of United. Maar so right. Julle sal weer wen.
Maria did her homework, Kama.
I was watching. I didn't have to do any homework.
They're sitting, I think, in 15th place at the moment.
Where were you watching?
It's new business.
See, it's your story there. Story.
Oh, Castori, Angie.
New business. I was watching on the plane.
They got TVs on the brooms now.
Bro.
You guys are heavy.
Jets, private jets.
Do you have like special headphones? Like Beats by Dre?
Creo que viewing that live.
All right, let's look at some of the stories making. What do you guys want to talk about this morning?
You had a topic for us.
Yeah, but nobody said anything.
No, go ahead. Yeah, it's a good
Share it
topic.
with us.
Yeah, but okay, no. Actually, let's just go. Let's just get to the topic for the day. Because lost years current. So this morning, guys, what we really wanna touch on is how basically we define gender roles in the household in the 20th century. Okay, especially in light of our SGBV problem. All right, I think part of the contributing factor, one of the contributing factors to the high rate of this SGBV crimes is because there is sort of almost a misalignment with the roles in the household, and I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. All right. Maria, maybe I should just let you rant first.
I first wanted to understand what actually inspired. Was there an incident at home that inspired this conversation?
No. When we spoke about it, I remember somewhere earlier in the year we had a conversation about, I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with, the boys and basically how they are being brought up.
Yeah.
And one of our avid listeners, Miss Glenda Bailey, said she wants us to do more of those advisory topics, especially when it comes to boys, because as a single mother, sometimes she struggles and she doesn't know how to deal with some of the things that her boy is going through. So I figured, it's a Monday, so let's have something a bit socially conscious and maybe try to give our opinions on the issue.
Yeah.
It's weird that Glenda worries more between my son and my daughter as a single mom.
She only has a son.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying now me as that has both. As a mother of both, a boy and a girl, as a single mom, obviously the father is there, but I'm the primary care. I worry, I think, more for how I'll raise my daughter and if that will somehow allow her to, because she needs to see a healthy relationship between a man and a woman.
A man and a woman, yes.
For her future relationships.
Yes.
So I actually worry more for her emotional well-being than I worry for my son. I think my son will have an advantage in that he grew up with women, so he will have a likeness to women. Obviously affection, all this. And then I think the boy parts about the manlyhood, he gets that from his community, from his uncles, to my brother, to his friends at school, to his father. There's men around him in the community that can. If it's boys' things that can groom him, but I think as a mother, I'm there to kind of cushion and give him that other, I think it's, that other softness that he can't get from, the macho, the macho society.
From the hyper-masculine
Yes, but for my
society,
daughter, I worry because I could teach her as a girl how to survive this stuff, but then where's that other message or how to relate to men? I can't teach that. But her father might be better suited to.
But they sort of do learn from watching the dynamics of the relationships.
Yeah, but if I'm as a single mom, where's she watching that?
That is true.
Yeah.
But okay, Neville, kom ek vra vir jou, you've been married the longest here.
Some of us are not even married.
Yeah. Ja, nee, Maria word nie een getel nie.
Ek word net getel nie.
Maar moenie sê kom overtake nou vir ons, moenie worry.
But you know what, still, as much as Maria is not married, I think the stuff of information that we do share with each other on a daily basis, and your general knowledge of relationship and the dynamics around family, etc., really sets you up pretty well.
Thank you.
If that comes up, okay? So just hold that line.
Right,
just keep that line. Wat wil jy weet? What is your story?
Ek wil, I want to pick your brain, right? In the 21st century, what is the role of the man in the house? Let's start with the man.
I'm a very traditional guy.
Yeah.
I'm very, very traditional. There are certain things that I do tweak here and there, okay? I still feel I'm the man. I bring the bacon home. That's still who I am. Yeah. I love, provide, protect my family. That's what I do. I still feel that, you know what, my wife, Mevrouw, is well suited to maneuver her way around the domestic setup.
Yeah.
It's not something that I
Would
really, really know how to go about. If I am become like a
stay-at-home dad,
a stay-at-home dad, that would probably change the dynamics, etc., etc. But for now,
it works for you guys.
It works for us. For instance, if there's one element that I think as a father that still sort of makes me feel like, oh, nah, man.
They're closer to their mom.
Yeah. The kids are closer to the mother.
Yeah.
There's nothing
She's the primary caregiver.
She's a primary caregiver.
About that. Mevrouw would always come to me, luister my man, die kinders het nog gesê, hulle wil so maak en so maak en so maak en so maak en so maak. So they first wanted to find out if you're okay with it. Now, as a father, you immediately become defensive.
Yeah.
No, what is the problem? Why can't the kids come to me and come and talk to me? Nee, hulle het net eers gedink hulle moet met my praat as hulle se ma. You understand? I'm like, and then whatever challenges that they do have, they first share it with their mother. Whether it's relationship problems that they have with a girlfriend or whether, they first talk to their mother about it. And then the mother will talk to me about it, and then we will then collectively address the issue.
Yeah.
The mother is a much softer landing than you.
Of course, generally.
Right?
Why?
I don't know. Like what I did want to ask though is like as a follow-up question, because you did mention, you know, bringing the bacon home. So
sit eers afdakel.
Wat is dat?
The aircon.
Aircon.
Hy ding laat maak my keel en ek bly heeltyd net so.
Oh, that's a coronavirus. Also
Yeah, it's corona.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like I was saying, in the 21st century, especially where we are helping women fight for equity.
Yeah.
And where we have, you know, cases of women sometimes bringing more of the bacon home than the guy. I mean, is it still right to be sort of indoctrinating the boys, as in you have to be the provider, you have to be the one that brings the bacon home?
I do.
Mary, what do you think?
I think it's important to know the person you're with, because I mean, ultimately that's what it is. It's a
I mean,
partnership.
for us it's easier, but I'm talking about the next generation.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's a value system. Okay, so for example, in Neville's case, for him, there's value in a man bringing bacon home. So naturally, that's the message he's going to send on to his son.
Yes.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as they understand that that's not what makes them men.
Yes.
You know, you need to make that distinction. Bringing the bacon home is not what fundamentally defines and identifies you as a man.
Yes.
And if he can get that message right, his boys are good. Even if they see themselves as the provider. And we still need to remember that we live in Africa. It's going to be years and years before we don't see men as providers.
Yes.
Even in this feminist world and women movement, we still see men, there's still a traditional element in all of us that you see men as the providers.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, that's why I mean, in my feminism, I don't even have a problem with a man
Being
insisting, being a provider, insisting on providing. All we're saying is, like, make sure that if you are being provided for, that there is a soft landing for you, that there is soft cushioning for you, meaning that if your husband were to pass away, that you'll be fine. Meaning if you got a divorce, that you'll be fine. It should not be like a control mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bringing the money home so that I can control you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you should never feel like you have no options.
Yeah.
So that's all we're advocating, because we understand the important role of a woman in the house. This is why also men see themselves as providers. They also understand. I mean, kids, in all fairness, kids that are raised by stay-at-home moms generally do better in society. They really do. These are just studies.
Yes,
you know, I mean, obviously, yes, of course. But I mean, you can understand why there's somebody at home.
You get more one-on-one attention.
You get more one-on-one attention. there's always a parent available for your activities, for your events, to cater to you, to make sure everything else is sorted.
You're right.
And nothing builds a child's self-esteem like you just giving them your undivided attention.
Undivided, exactly.
Yes.
So yes, kids that are raised in stay-at-home parent home, whether it's a mother or father, I'm not here to dictate that, but I'm saying they do better generally in terms of life skills than you know. So it would be stupid to say like we should all be aiming to be in the boardroom or in the offices or whatever, and
we can't all be doing.
we should all you know, desert the home, you know, and get stay-at-home nannies and whatever. So we understand the roles of stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home dads and the importance of that in society. I think, like I said, it's about partnership. Even if both partners are working, and let's say the woman is making more than the man or whatever, it's just fundamentally, it's just what works for you. But the message ultimately, even as a provider, is just not to attach your masculinity to being a provider. Then there's no problem.
I think we probably at a stage of our lives now that after almost 20 years together, where the dynamics of income would not really make a difference to me now. Let me say Mafro gets a windfall from somewhere now. She gets involved into some project and she immediately starts making
serious money.
Serious money. And because of the relationship that we probably established over a course period of time, it would not be an issue now, whether it's for her or whether it's for me. But I do feel still, from a traditional point of view, again, if you start off a relationship, and it's something that I do tell my sons, and my sons are still in the house, I say, you guys are not moving out of this house before you are financially stable enough to first and foremost look after yourselves. Julle moet maar eers julle se grade hierso klaar maak. Establish yourself and
get
then
a job, make some
get
income,
a job, make some income, save up, start a little business. And then you can remotely think about getting into moving out and starting a relationship. I can't dictate to you guys whether you're going to become fathers before you get married or whatever. You guys know what the dynamics are economically out there. So, but I think it's extremely difficult for guys out there starting out new and traditionally. The woman makes more money than you.
That's perhaps what boys need to be prepared for, because that's what they're not prepared for. They're being taught how to be providers,
but they're not being taught
they're not being given the skills to
how do you handle a situation where you are not the provider?
When you're not the provider or the like the breadwinner, the one that's bringing the most money home.
That's the word.
And men are never ready for those type of things.
Because I think to a large extent, men still see finances as a control mechanism, like you were saying earlier on. And that's why you get these situations where people get into arguments and fights because because you spent, I spent my money on you, or I spent this on you, so you owe me. So like I think basically most guys or most men view money as a control mechanism, and we are not ready. They're not ready to be in a situation where the woman is the one who's providing. Even if you just do a quick, even just in the comments, I would like to know, especially from the guys, how many of you are okay with being a stay-at-home husband?
And by the way, don't even have to be a stay-at-home. You could both be working, but she makes more than you. Even that's an issue. Because the thing I've heard repeated, and it's not, I don't say any truth to it, but it's for some odd reason, it's something that's in the minds of men, where they're like, you can't be with a woman that earns more than you or whatever. She will tell the whole town about it, and and then they feel, but I'm saying, but why would you feel emasculated by that? Even if it's a known fact.
Even if it's a known fact?
Even if it's a known fact.
I
look at my parents, right? My mother was the doctor, my dad was a social worker, so of course my mom was making more. It's a known fact, but just by looking at their professions, you knew who was making. But it never emasculated my father. He never felt less like a man in the house.
His manhood was not attached to the amount of money he was bringing to the house.
Exactly.
But Maria, your father is probably the 5% of scenarios where a man doesn't feel that way, or the woman doesn't make him feel less than what he is. Yeah. But I've heard horror stories of men who's in that position, who either can't provide or struggling to look for a job. The woman is the provider, or she earns more than him, and in some way or the other,
there's emotional abuse there.
It filters through in her behavior towards.
Like,
Here, asseblief. Ek soek 'n man wat tog vir my kan gee wat ek wil hê.
Yeah.
But you see, it's that same messaging. When you are messaging it to the boys, it filters through to the girls as well. If you're telling the boys, you have to be the provider, have to be the provider, have to be the provider.
Opposite end, the girls are hearing, you need to be provided for, you need to be provided.
Exactly.
You need to be provided.
So when they
also
also
to the ripple effect.
Exactly.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So you need to change. That's what I'm saying. It is. And I mean, I can even. My own personal upbringing. I mean, yes, education was important, whatever. But yes, that message is it's exactly how it translated to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, you must find a man that provides for you.
Oh. Yes.
You can get a job, but you can't earn more than your man.
Yeah.
Hey, moet provide. Hey, moet die tickets koop. Hey, moet die wat. Hey, moet die hotel betaal. Hey, it's just how, and I can't even say I've unlearned that message, because even now, in my pursuit, like if I'm looking at relationships, I still do want a guy that makes more than me.
Yeah.
And I'm a very progressive person. So, I mean, for me to even admit that is just to show you how I haven't really done the work. I have not really come within myself.
Indoctrination happens from a very young age. You grow up in a society that keeps reinforcing that message.
And it's reinforced over and over
and over. It's not easy to just drop.
I mean, it was evident again last week with push gift. It was evident last week. Come on, it was the talk of the town last week.
That's true. That's
so imagine a situation where she was the one buying him that car.
Oh no.
Wat sal julle gesê?
Yeah, no, that's one story.
Yes, we would. It would have been a whole big issue.
Scrubs.
Yeah, but we definitely need to do better, whether it's boys or girls. Like, definitely reiterate the message that you don't have to. Like, it's nice to be spoiled, but you don't have to expect it. It shouldn't be expected. For women, I think.
Yeah.
You should be able to do it for yourself. And if a man comes along, great that he comes there, but like, don't expect to try and achieve it for yourself. That lifestyle, that comfort, achieve it for yourself first and foremost, and don't wait for somebody else to provide it for you. And equally, men should be taught that it's a woman that earns more than you, or that's more ambitious than you, or whatever. It's not a threat. It's fine. You can coexist. So yeah, it's mixed message.
How do they say? Who's wearing the pants in this house?
Yeah. Then again, you know what? I sit, having a daughter now. Now, I sit here thinking, okay, Mevrouw is obviously, she's my responsibility from a financial point of view. Now, I look at my daughter and I'm like, man, I need to make a little bit more money so that I can provide for her, so that she can not be dependent on anybody else. But then again, I think that the challenge that men have who's got daughters is that it would become very difficult for you to detach yourself from your daughter, because you also want to remain her constant provider.
Her safe place.
A safe place. So even if your daughter gets married one day, it's almost like you whispering in her ear all the time, Luister,
if he lifts his hand,
if you need any help, Daddy's here for you. And she will always, and I've seen this a lot in relationships, where the father remains the sanctuary and he doesn't give the husband.
Sometimes it creates a conflict,
He doesn't give the husband, the level of confidence that he needs to have so that he can take charge of, of his house, because the father is always there. And as I'm talking to you guys, I somehow see myself in that role. and I need to sort of try
We all
and
have a lot of
unlearn
unlearning to do.
Hey, see,
Yeah.
That's
I was
me.
like,
But for me, it's easier because there's unlearning. My generation of men, I mean the men that are dateable to me, still think like that. Like they need to be providers.
Yeah.
So even if I unlearn now, it's not like I'm,
yes.
you know what I mean? It's like I'm unlearning for who?
Like they also need to unlearn, but
Yeah. They're not trying to unlearn. It's like the type of men I date now, which are my age group and above. They're all genuinely also ingrained with the message that a man should be a provider, and they're not gonna let go of that. The only thing you should check, and this is where look, the only thing you can do is make sure that it's not a control mechanism.
Yes.
That it's just a belief system and it's not a control mechanism. Because if you start being in a control mechanism, like I'm gonna provide so that I can control you, like and you have to rely on me and you have to depend on me, and you can, as you will honor broek op moet jy vir my laat weet, if that's where you get to in your relationship, you're done for.
I think like for our generation, right, most of us that bus has already left the station. Of unlearning.
It's fair. Look at Neville. Imagine trying to change Neville's mindset that he's a provider. It's not gonna happen.
No, but it's good. I mean, the mindset for him, it doesn't necessarily have to change as far as his lifestyle, but you would like it to sort of filter through to the messaging that he's giving to his boys,
kids, yes.
and to his daughter, and to his kids basically.
Yeah.
So, try and create different circumstances for the next generation.
But it's not just the men that don't want to change it, because we've said to them, like we've been saying, stop. We remove this financial pressure on boys. Okay, we've been saying that, like empower women more so that they can also assist in the house, so that there's no financial pressure, because that's that's the number one cause of men's depression: finances.
Yes.
Not being able to provide for the family. Yes. That's where most of them end up suicidal. In fact, committing suicide. Yeah. If you look at, I mean, it's one of the reasons. I mean, it's not the only reason. For femicide. Yeah. It's not the only reason. Please make it clear. But a lot of it is attached to this dependency.
Yes.
Is what the other guy was saying. I just didn't like how he
phrased it.
Yeah, he phrased it. That Dr. Yam, he didn't phrase it properly, and also because he was just painting one narrative when there's so many other. But there is also some truth there, the dependency element. So all these evils. And we want boys to be better, not to feel like when they can't provide for their families that they're useless and that they should be shoved and that they should be called names and that they feel emasculated. We don't want that either. But it seems like you guys want to maintain.
That's what I was about to say. It's like the irony of it is some men actually want to maintain the status quo because they feel like, we will lose control over our women. Then they will walk all over us if we are not holding the financial power.
That's the fear.
Yeah, which, it's just cross-messaging and we keep perpetuating the problem. Generation after generation. All right, let's see what the commentators are saying. Braji Gontep, stay-at-home husbands only exist in Western countries. Here in Africa, we are culturally raised differently. In Africa, there are a lot of things that we are raised culturally that we drop for Western ways because it suits us. But when it doesn't, we sort of cling on to cultural values.
Whatever fits our narrative.
Yes. Castro Paul, women are becoming... Last I know, women are becoming more educated than men in Namibia. Even in the USA, women make up the majority of university graduates. They will start out earning men, and men need to learn how to navigate through that. All right, the dating game will be affected as women feel they won't date a man earning less since he is supposed to be the primary provider, which can lead to women remaining single for a long time out of choice or eventually just settling.
I don't know. Do women really care? I've dated guys that earned less than me. Not been in a relationship, there's a difference. But I've definitely dated men that earn less and it didn't bother me. Yeah, but also, I wasn't trying to build anything long-term and sustainable with them. So
that's your answer.
No, but I'm saying it didn't bother me. It was quite literally a non-issue. And I can't say me not...
It should have bothered them.
Look, I was in that. I've only been in that situation once where I was in a relationship where the other person was basically, bringing home the bacon. That was me in varsity. But then for me, it felt like a bonus.
Yeah, it should feel like a bonus.
It's like more for us. It's like basically, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm also not every person, so I don't know why it is emasculating. I guess also it depends on how the other person handles the situation.
I was about to say, it's not all dandy and rose. I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah.
It's like there were times on our first date, I was like, I koop toch net krag. I'm thinking it. I'm not saying it. You know?
Just buy electricity.
Koop net krag, asseblief. I'm not saying it, but obviously in my...
You don't have to say it.
Yeah, my frustration is like, I can't be doing everything, but...
Koop toch net krag.
Here's another angle, right? I've heard this in a lot of conversations. Neville. So most men feel like because I bring home the bacon, I am sort of excused from the household chores.
Yes, that's what I
bring home the bacon, so I can't also be doing household chores. So that is that is probably the other reason
shamelessly
why he doesn't want Mafro to be earning more, because then that excuse goes out the window.
I have sons. My sons are 23, 22, 15, and I got an 11-year-old daughter.
And with the school as well.
Okay. Ek sal niks by die huis doen nie. So, Jay, met die story waarmee jy kom met jou statistics, you can go to hell, Cubis. Ek sal nie. Why must I do any work at that house?
I bring the bacon home.
Ek sal sorg, ek sal krag gaan koop.
Come on, you can sort out the rest.
Ek sal krag koop. Ek sal sorg that there's fuel in the cars.
Yeah.
Nee? They started this nonsense with me a few years ago.
But now let me ask you, Never.
Mami, nou kom vas, dit nie skool goed nie. I just give them the look.
Sê hey, moenie kom sukkel nie.
Met my.
Moenie kom sukkel nie.
All these years, ek braai. Ek skep op. I see that everybody eats. I do the garden. No, jy is groot. Jy kan skool goed was. Jy droog af. Jy pak weg.
Yeah.
Your daughter can clean the floors or whatever. Honey, you don't even have to do anything. There are 4 children in the house.
Yes, hoekom is hulle gemaak het?
So anybody out there, ek stel nie belang nie.
So Neville,
I'm not doing any work at home.
This formula, okay, I mean the formula is fine. It's working now because you're bringing home the bacon. Maar sê nou Quentin besluit hy is moeg vir jou en jy moet maar nou chip.
Dan moet ek chip.
En mevrou gaan maar terug werk toe.
Ja.
En nou sit jy by die train.
Nee, daar sit so my bro.
Sal jy maar ook skool goed begin was?
Ek gaan begin skool goed was nou. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, that's when the dynamics are changing.
Okay, but let me ask this.
But
even
like,
if you're, what if there's 2 working people in the house?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we have 2 working people. You still earn more than her, but she's also
earning. Yes.
So you're both tired when you get home.
Yes.
You both put in a full day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you, and this is where the inequality comes in.
Yes.
Because you're both out working to bring money home. Yes, you earn more, but she's bringing money home as well. But when you get into the house, it's like now she's the only person that has to cook, clean, make sure you're catered for. And then you still wonder why when you want to have sex at night, save a lieni.
Yeah, like that's why I feel personally like, the sort of, I don't really want to use the word roles because I mean it's different dynamic in every household, I guess. But sort of the gender roles in the house should not be attached to how much who is making, Neville, because that formula is not going to work the other way around. No, you're right. The other way around. So
I think the time when we were both working and I think we took the decision almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what you say, Maria. We were struggling with this on a daily basis.
Yeah.
We come home and our kids has been very active in sport for a very long time. So nou sit ek en mevrou, ons is by die tennis, ons is by die soccer, because I can't drive home. There's only one car in the family.
Ja.
Nou sit ons wag nou, laat die kinders klaar soccer speel en tennis speel. It's before 8.
Nou eers, tyd eers gaan jy luister.
Dan gaan ons nou almal huis toe.
En dan is nou kook
Is
en
nou,
kinders
daar
moet
moet
bad
kos,
en
die kinders moet bad, die huis.
dus werk, alles.
Oh, man, so the kids eat by 9,
Yeah.
10ish. So up to a point, so we didn't make this decision out of sheer luxury.
Yeah.
It was just because of, you
It
know,
didn't work.
It
It
just
wasn't working.
it just doesn't work.
Was the best decision for the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we come home stressed and ons het nie tyd vir mekaar nie.
Yeah.
There's no time. Okay, so by the time that she finished cooking and I've helped to om die bed op te maak in die kamer en reg te trek, we are tired.
No quality time.
Daar's nie quality time nie. So in the meantime she wants to watch Binnelanders and she what? So she's watching Binnelanders while she's cooking and she's stressed.
Yeah.
She says, "Nee man. Mevrou,
Yeah, let's relook at the situation.
kom ons kyk bietjie ek sal let me see what I can do."
Yeah.
The only thing that she asked me 10 years ago, solank ek net my nails
En my hare.
en my hare kan doen per maand. Okay, my man, if you can just do that for me.
Yeah.
So yeah. So and there's some challenges if one person brings the bacon home, but there's also some good to
But
it.
is she cushion? If something were to happen to you today, will she be okay?
Nou,
That's what you have to
hy
ask.
moet
If
net ngawees.
Ja.
Sy moet net ngawees.
Of kom ons sê sy wil jou los.
yeah,
Of jy wil haar los.
Laat sy na haar ma se huis toe gaan.
Sy wil ook haar eie huis hê.
Laat sy gaan na haar ma
Senior,
se
this
huis
is
toe.
unfortunately what happened. Control.
Sy sal nie gaan nie. No. The
man.
jokes aside, you know, as a man, it's not even about me anymore.
Yeah,
She's the mother of my children. And
yeah.
do what needs to be done.
If you're not there, she's the one who has to provide and care for them. So subconsciously, you also need to make sure that she is in that position. Alright, kos lees 'n paar comments.
That's
Gideon,
right.
kragkoop is mos net 'n jong *140*. Zero energy required mos. It's net
Nee,
vinnig.
maar dan moet geld op de
That's
rekening
not the
wees.
point. Hoor wat Maria sê. Jy moet jou eie zak krag gaan koop.
Ja, jy moet. Bring ten minste krag. En nie R20 se kraggoed nie. Dit is net vir finansie koop.
Oef,
10
you
units.
can mos. 10 units. You switch on the stove when the electricity goes off.
Gideon says, get a domestic worker. Too much unemployment in the country, Mos. So it will be better covered if both works and weekends you do it yourself, like the cleaning and the cooking, etc. You know, we've also had that conversation in my household. And then the question was, okay, who's going to pay the domestic worker?
Ja.
You or me?
Yeah, so it's not as easy as that
Yeah,
also.
sometimes you just have to pull together.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
just have to pull together. Like whoever likes cooking can cook. The other one can wash dishes. Till at least the kids are older enough to help. And even my kids are 10. I still ask them to. Their room always has to be clean. Ek die nene gaan nie eens sê in hulle se kamer. Hulle moet hulle se kamer skoon hou.
They have to clean their own rooms.
Yes. When they alternate on weekends to do dishes because they need also to be domesticated. So you just have to pull together.
My eldest is the dish man in the house.
Aha.
I cannot calculate it. Like, you don't even have to tell him anything. He already knows. It's like, okay, I need to make sure the kitchen is clean before we go to sleep. And it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I think he's going to make a good boyfriend one day. Damon Shandero, I think if both partners have jobs, it's only fair to share the chores at home. Right? If one cooks, the other washes dishes. If one sweeps, the other mops, etc. It's unfair how some guys spec everything on the wife once she comes home tired. Then hubby wonders why wife has no mood or has no mood for sex.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm
What
saying.
is a problem? Daar's mos barokka by these. She can drink 2 barokkas.
Yeah, and what does sex have to do with cleaning? Those are two different chores.
Kom I get for your I get the dishes. I made sure I bath the children. I put them to bed. Jy lê, jy kyk jou TV in die bedkamer. Jy het klaar geëet. Jy's na. Mevrou kom in die kamer en moeg. Want
Ja.
het die hele huis se chores
Ja.
alleen gedoen en jy het nog die audacity om.
Hy sit so
Klop.
op sy phone.
Ja.
It's like, honey, what are we cooking tonight? I end up give me the remote. Like ek doen niks ek sit net hierso. Maar anyway,
As die vrou moet sê, ek is moeg, sê nee. You don't have to do anything. That's all right.
oh, okay, I've used that one before.
It
It doesn't always work. Asino Kambikiti says, "Oh Neville, those kids of your wife, like you always say, they must cook, wash dishes, clean the house and the garden until they move out. So that is a renta.
Dankie.
Skonmak.
That's
You have to earn your keep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Regine Kathy Mushimbata, as a kid, you just feel like a stepchild when you have to do all that. When you have to do the chores. Yeah, well, we also have to teach our children how to feel like stepkids, I guess. Braji Gontep, women always wanted more from the start. Looking at Eve, she didn't even wait for Adam to make any decision about which tree to eat from or not. You guys, please don't start antagonizing Maria. Losmet says, lekker chill for oggend in haar geel hoed.
Los vir Maria.
I am sunny in my yellow head.
Daar was net een boom gewees sowieso.
Ja.
Ja.
Davu Nunyango, if it didn't bother you, why did you not remain with them? Who, I don't know what you're
Oh, you're talking about me? Why I didn't? No, because I told you there are people I date and then there are people I get into relationships. It's just people for dating.
Yeah, but like, relationships don't always work out. It's not about... Okay, that
No,
is,
I
it's
think she's
just
asking
weird.
if it didn't bother me that they
Yeah.
made less.
Yeah.
Then why did I break up with them?
You could have broken
But
up with
for
them
any
because
other
they
reason,
cheated.
it's not.
That's
It's
what I
not
mean.
the reason that I'm.
Yeah, relationships can break
Yeah,
apart over so many different things.
Exactly.
Castro Paul says we also need to remember that there are some men that feel they have to earn much more than their women so that they can have a certain power or control over the woman. Yep, we've been saying that over and over again. Estomishmesta, not easy to give advice on this topic because I live in a society where gender equality matters, all right? Mom's maternity leave is for a year because here they believe the bonding time is vital. When mom is done for a year, paternity leave for men can last for 6 months or more, depends on the household's agreement. When it comes to the house duties, they are shared equally. The Norwegian men are used to it being in the kitchen or doing laundry because this is part of their society. I surely prefer things this way. This type of men, they will be called wimps, beinlos, like, bienlos, like no backbone. But society here strengthens both genders. I mean, I do, like, in my house, for instance, right, I will tell you there are certain chores that I have told my wife it does not matter how many therapists you bring in this house, I will not do it.
Like ironing.
I don't mind ironing my own stuff.
Hey.
I iron my stuff better than she does anyway. But Mar, here's the thing. I will not do the dishes. The kids are there. I will not wash the floors. And I will not dish up even if I cook.
Yeah.
But I will cook, I will do laundry, I will anything else in the house, I am hands-on, I don't mind.
Yeah.
So I mean, like we were saying, it depends on the person you're with. You need to find what works for the two of you. And make sure you're not putting too much pressure on one or the other. Okay, more comments here. Women are becoming... Okay, I saw that one. Ro Vieira, believe me, all men have a problem with the fact that the lady earns more. Maria, your dad just never spoke up. But it was definitely eating him up from the inside.
No.
A man is there to take care and provide. It is what it is.
What is the word?
What happens when the man... So Ro... You're telling me everybody should only date people who are earning less than them.
Yeah. You're projecting. And also, I think it's also important to maintain that even sometimes some women still maintain, like my mom is still, as much as she earned more, my mom is still a very traditional type of woman. So it's not like the type of woman that will emasculate her husband, because he's earning less. So I think, Ro, you're projecting. But I understand what you're saying, that it's very rare to find a man that doesn't have an issue with it. Yeah.
Look, these are things that are passed on generation to generation. These are norms that have been passed on. But as we can clearly see, the world is moving in a whole new direction, and we need to prepare these young guys to be able to navigate this new space.
And just to add to it, I mean, Cubase just admitted he doesn't mind it either. He's a man.
Yeah.
So.
My broer, if she can buy me a push gift, I will push. Rovira is saying, Neville, Mafro knows you better compared to the boys. She will convey the message in such a way that you just agree at the end. The boys are not sure how to talk to you, and on one side, they could be a little scared of you. You know, good cop, bad cop situations. Yeah. Yeah.
You might find that she's the disciplinarian and still the kids are more comfortable with her.
Yeah.
So I'll do it so, no?
Yeah. If they're really in trouble,
Yeah.
then they come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mommy. Yeah.
Fred Bars saying modern day society men are becoming more open to the idea of gender equality in regards to family roles. There is a gradual transition from the male dominant society to gender equality. Gradual, but very slow.
Slowly. Snail
Right.
pace.
Going back to the football discussion earlier, Ole Gunnar wants to get new players, but his hands are tight. It's team management that needs to let him decide a bit. He has been trying to get Erling Braut Haaland before he signed with Dortmund. The green light ain't there. This team I have been following since my teens, die-hard fan. The managers need to loosen up and let the coach buy some fresh blood.
No, I agree with the board of Manchester United. With the Glazers, don't give any money now. The world is going through a financial recession.
Where do they
because
need
of
to strengthen?
Huh?
Where do they need to strengthen?
The team is fine as it is at the moment.
Do they maybe they need like another world-class striker? I mean, they have Cavani to fill in the space for now.
No, they got Pogba.
They've got Pogba. They've got Donny van de Beek.
Los, die span is reg.
By the way, Rose says, Kuba, this is not what I'm saying. Men can earn less. Madetsalom chow.
Yeah.
It's a
Well
long
of
plan.
knee.
Yeah.
It will eat him up.
That's
Q,
yeah.
that's all you eat, man. What's
Yeah.
fine with it?
Yeah.
Look, I understand how a lot of us, let me not exclude myself, a lot of us will have an issue with it. I understand. But for me, I think it's a bonus. And I think the fact that we know that a lot of us are going to have a problem, that means we need to particularly focus on our messaging to the young boys and the girls as well.
It's because I come from a very strong traditional background.
Yeah.
And I still, live, the most part of my life very traditional.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be extremely difficult to convince me otherwise
Yeah.
that a woman will not
Throw it in your face.
throw it in my face if she makes more money than me. I will continuously drive the message home to my sons unless they can come and with their spouses and their lives come and show me otherwise. But I will try my utmost best to equip them that they are comfortable within themselves before they remotely move into the next stage of their lives. I still don't believe it as I'm sitting here. It's going to take a lot of convincing for me to believe that a woman will not throw it in your face if you're not bringing any money home, or that she makes more money than you, and for the rest of your life, she'll just be happy to look after you. I will not believe that.
And I think even if she doesn't have it, her friends will be like, "Oh, I can't do your money."
Yeah.
He's
sitting there.
See.
But like never, like for instance, that messaging. So say one of them brings home like a young fan, but Quentin doesn't have daughters.
Yeah.
Like a young billionaire's daughter or something like
Yeah,
this. Somebody,
okay, wacht nou eers.
she is like money-wise, she is in a whole other league. So then, like, what is the messaging? What does the messaging become then? Because now, because you've been telling them, look, you need to be the provider. It sort of has Self-conscious.
I hear
He
what you
becomes
said.
a bit self-conscious about the fact that he's now with somebody who's, bringing home
Doesn't have
bigger bacon.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a multi. Years ago, I met this couple. It's a white couple. The woman is an investment banker. She, top of her game, brings in a lot of money. And obviously, at some point, and she's obviously career-driven. She's not very maternal because she prefers to be in the boardroom, getting things done. So, and her husband is the opposite. He likes to spend time with the kids, and he likes to do all this stuff. So they have an agreement that he's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
And he takes the kids to school, he prepares them for school, he prepares breakfast, his wife they live a comfortable life.
Yeah.
Comfortable, but he's also an artist. So in between, he gets his painting done when the kids are at school, and sells paintings.
He gets to do his own thing.
He gets to do his own thing, but it genuinely, when they're together, they seem happy. They seem happy. So I don't want to I also don't want to set it up like this is just something that is can't be achieved, and it's a foreign concept, and you can't completely be happy. There are people with the reverse roles that are genuinely thriving, genuinely happy, and it works for their household.
Leah Amunyela is saying, I'm sorry, let me not make more money than my men. I might not say it, but I will show it. Jealous, I'll sin.
Bastard. There you go.
Now, do you know why I say Neville is imagining himself the man on the opposite end of such a woman? Tell it for me, wat sê nie. Het jy krag van hierdie man gekoop? Het jy die water betaal?
Is jy water betaal? Huh? Ek sê vir jou.
Die kos wat jy nou eet.
Die kos, ja. I mean, can you imagine?
Jy net heeldag my kar rond en jy.
Hallo.
Kom maar jy nog met 'n groot bierpen met kos wat.
Can you imagine? Let's just take this scenario. She makes more money than you. She's the one basically paying for everything. Okay? But jealous mos no voor. There's love. There's love in this relationship. She catches you. I'm not saying, let's say there's a confirmation that you did cheat on her. Okay, now she's
Why must you cheat when you are having such a nice life?
No, verstaan je. And it has happened. Now she's pissed off at you because you cheated on her. She brings the money home. Can you imagine how she would be scolding you? Just that day, that moment that she sits there. Jay's useless. Jay gaan and you go and waste your time with these young girls. Ne? Hoekom gaan jy nie na hulle toe nie? Because, and I will tell those women that I'm the one taking care of you. Ne? Daai kar wat jy ry, gee ook as gee my sleutels terug.
Okay, but never, as opposed to what? Mevrou cheats on you. She's a housewife. You'll do the same thing. Trek na your massa is too. It's the reverse is true.
I don't think so.
I bring the bacon home to provide you a good home where you don't have to work, where you're just supposed to be. I make sure your nails are done every month and your hair, and you go and cheat on me. Fat khana your massa is too. There's no difference. If you
so that's why I have to pay for your nails and hair so you can go impress these young boys.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Nah.
Ja, is nie reg nie. Is nie reg nie.
So whoever does it, I think again, it's just about the money being a control mechanism.
Yeah.
And you know, men are we don't really like being in the vulnerable position.
Ooh.
That is
me.
Yeah, like you would do everything to
not
show your vulnerability.
Worst thing, and I tell you, a man who is vulnerable and a man who does not have options. And when I say options, I'm not talking about...
What do you mean vulnerable in what sense?
Vulnerable, especially financially.
Oh, okay. Just say because you can be vulnerable emotionally. Yeah. It's different.
And it makes you vulnerable emotionally.
I like vulnerable men.
Huh? No, but I don't want to be vulnerable when I'm...
Oh, you mean... No, financially I understand.
If a man's finances doesn't work out for him, if a man is in a corner, and if a man doesn't know what to do, it's the most... helpless feeling I think any man can go through. What's my and I keep on telling guys, and it's one thing that I do tell myself on a daily basis, never run out of options. Don't run out of options. You must be able to know what's your next plan in life. What's your next way to
Tell
do?
women the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Don't ever run out of options.
Prat, hey, asseblief. Lost thy story.
Nee.
You are
Luister vir my.
influencing women wrongly.
Yes, look,
Don't ever run out of options.
as a human being, if you do not have a plan, then you're just floating about. It's like you're basically a waste of oxygen.
Aye.
It's true. You must at least have some sort of direction of what you want to do with your life, because otherwise, why are you here? Asino Kambikiti, Cuba, laundry, by hand or by washing machine. Kama ek, that's so. I am a bro. Washing machine. But then I grew up watching my mother wash like loads and loads and loads by hand. So,
Estomish,
yeah.
keep the comments shorter.
Estomich is saying,
Yo.
we hate doing dishes too, us women. So get a dishwasher, because that's always the number one excuse for men. It's like, hey, I hate doing dishes. It's like, but we also hate dish.
Huh?
I have a dishwasher at home that hardly gets used.
No.
Why did you even buy one?
Mevrouw, she threw that dishwasher out 20 years ago when we started.
It's like it's not krag en water wat jy. Dit gebruik meer water en krag.
Apparently it doesn't wash the pots.
Yeah, the
clean.
pots don't. It doesn't. You have to first. Yeah.
So then what's the use?
I told my wife I'm gonna marry a dishwasher. I won't buy one. I'm with you on this one.
And you did, eh?
No, the kids are
okay.
Hey, my bro shouldn't be hearing some of these things. Muhao Siboli, we should not lie. We should not tie relationships like paying for her nails or giving her or him money to manipulating the other party when they are in the wrong. Individuality before us is key, all right? But we both need to be mature enough to comprehend that. That's true. Different strokes for different folks, yo. Some people can't wait for you to mess up so they can throw it in your face. Estomich, your essay here. Yeah, it should never matter who earns more in the house. Life, as you know it, changed. One can lose it in a heartbeat, all right? Look at your fish rod guys. They are sitting in jail, not enjoying their money. Money should never be a security in a relationship. We need to find people who will be there in hard times, who won't leave you if unfortunately you end up in a wheelchair and or brain damage due to an accident or something like that. Love should be about the biggest decision. Will I be there when you are at your lowest? Yep. Every relationship needs to define what works for it, all right? Don't let other people come sort of define what should be happening in your house. Yeah. Dion Chimsizel is saying you get a domestic worker and the katopi dollars her while you're away. Stay woke, ladies. Get an old nanny.
Mohau Siboli says we should not tie responsibilities and then brackets paying for her nails or giving her money to manipulating the other party when they are in the wrong. Individuality before us is key. Yeah. But we both need to be mature enough to comprehend that. Very correct.
Yeah. Read this. Why are you guys bringing Eve into this story?
Oh, tits.
Lost net for Eve either, I believe. Eve was a hustler.
Was Eve a hustler?
And you know what else? Eve had options.
What options did Eve have? That Eve had, man. It was only Adam that was there. Adama.
Come on. All right, it's almost time for us to leave. Speaking of Eve, Sophia Shanyingo is making some comments this weekend about the ruling party.
What?
It's interesting. It caught my attention. The SWAPO Secretary General, Sophia Shanyingo, has reiterated her party's recent stance that looting of state resources by individual party members did not mean the former liberation movement itself is corrupt. So basically, individuals are corrupt, not SWAPO.
Okay.
But then the people SWAPO.
That's what caught my attention, because if SWAPO is not its people, then what is SWAPO? Is it the building or what exactly is
the flag?
it? Yeah, is it Maniki?
Yeah,
Maniki.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I think it was a mini party rally there in Rundu over the weekend where she was speaking. It is, of course, campaign season. Neville,
silly season.
I know you have been watching closely the race in the US. They have their elections tomorrow.
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We will be talking about that tomorrow.
The rise and fall of
Yes.
Donald Biden.
The orange wizard, grand wizard. Yeah. No, in short, I can't wait anymore.
I need to know if Donald is out or in.
Yeah, that's it. And I think tomorrow would be a good day to discuss that.
Yeah.
And to see what will transpire.
If you are in forex trading and you are trading US dollars today, you keep your eyes on the market. We have no idea how things are going to develop tomorrow. It could go up or it could go all the way down.
I still have difficulty in, and maybe it's just, I'm not saying because I support the Democrat candidate that I'm right in supporting the Democratic candidate.
He's out, maar he's a better option.
Yeah, now and that's just how I feel about it. Yeah. And I feel very aggrieved when I hear, especially black people, that seems to be supporting Donald Trump. It's for me, it's the ultimate level of coonery. but and they would come back to me and then they would give me reasons as to why they support Trump, and I would still feel aggrieved and I would take it extremely personal.
It's like Uncle Tom.
That how did you in fact find any reasons to be supporting Donald Trump in any
During
which
the
way?
slave trade, there were also slaves that were reporting to the masters when the other slaves were trying to escape.
Yeah.
House niggas.
Yeah. The house Negroes. Yeah. So I've been having debates with some of my friends or people that I know on social media who are black but support Trump. I still don't
whether
understand.
white or black, I don't understand how
anyone can
support Trump.
He has support and he's got skew support. And unfortunately, and it's one of the things that I say, you know what, this guy doesn't even, I've seen many previous Republican presidents, whether it was George W. Bush, the Ronald Reagans, whoever in the past. But this guy, and this is what a lot of Republicans say, this guy does not even goes along the values of what the Republican Party stands for. He's completely outside of even what the values of the Republican Party is.
That guy is cashing in on the presidency. I think that was the main reason for him wanting to become president. Like his businesses have raked in, I think, about 1.9 billion, according to the New York Times,
since he became
from
president.
government since he became president. For instance, the trips that he would take to Mar-a-Lago, his security don't stay for free.
When
he charges them.
Yes. He charges them for the rooms that they are going to sleep in. Yeah, I guess that's the way things work over there.
And
how much did you make from advertising beans?
The Goya beans, what do they call it?
Yeah.
He said unethical.
And the thing what I don't understand is that when I speak to people who support Trump, it's like, my broer, hoe kan jy hierdie man support? Ja. Kijk, Trump is 'n man wat reguit praat. Hy praat reguit. But is it okay if you speak whatever it is that you're speaking just because for the sake of that you're speaking it? But die reguit wat jy praat, how much wrong is there in the wrong?
There's no truth.
How much harm?
And there's very little truth most of the times in his straightforward
He
speech.
lies so much.
You know what is interesting for me is like listening to sort of his rhetoric over since they started campaigning, let's say over the last month or so. This guy has given every indication that should he lose, it's going to be difficult to get him out of office. He's going to fight it all the way
he's
to...
kind of said, he said he will assess. He's been asked.
Will
you accept the defeats? Like, we will look at it.
We will look at it, and then we will see the process.
He's reminding me of an African leader.
They kept on saying that African leaders always like to hold on to power, and when it comes to elections, African countries, there's a lot of intimidation during African corruption. This guy symbolizes everything that they say about African leaders, about African countries.
Yeah, that's what Trevor was calling him. America's first African president, Donald Joseph Central. All right, guys. We're gonna keep tabs on that one tomorrow. It is the final day of elections. Like election day is basically just the final day of elections. They have been voting for the past couple of weeks already.
Yeah. 90 million.
Via mail mostly.
Yeah. So we're gonna see how that pans out.
And that's what he's saying, is that by tomorrow evening, he's going to send his lawyers in, because there are still mail-in voting results that needs to come through from the different states. So, and he knows, and the Republican Party knows, that those mail-in votes are definitely not Republican.
Most of them are going to be Democrats.
They are going to be Democrats. Yeah. So he knows that. So he wants to cut that off so that the results needs to be announced before those votes are coming in.
Yeah. Politics, guys. Politics. You think we have issues here? Right, we're out of here. Catch Meneer Kaufman and Tatenawan is also back in the fray this week. They are going to be giving you the hour between 12 and 1 right here on Informanté Radio. You can also stream that live on the Informanté Radio Facebook page. Funny morning crew, lekker maandag, ons check julle môre.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9, Monday to Fridays.
The Morning Mix.
LifeSave guarantees the growth of an individual's savings over a period of time. With guaranteed 8.5% compound interest rates per year. Making your money work for you has never been this easy.